Ịdị ga-agbanwe. Chukwuemede ga-agbanwele. Ịdị ga-agbanwe. Onye na-eme mma, ịdị ga-agbanwere m. Ị naghị agbanwe otu ịdị ka ịdị. Ị naghị agbanwere m o. Ịdị ga-agbanwe. Chi onye na-enye obi ọcha, ịdị ga-agbanwere m o. Ịdị ga-agbanwe. Chimọma ya onwe gị mgbanwe ma ọlị. Ịdị ga-agbanwe. I nweghị mgbanwe ma ọlị. Ịdị ga-agbanwe. Ebulite ụzọ atụbale. Ịdị ga-agbanwe. Ọgaranya ngada. Ịdị ga-agbanwe. Chukwu onye na-enye common sense. Ịdị ga-agbanwe. Ekwe mgbadike. Ị naghị agbanwere m o. Ị naghị agbanwe. Onye mere ihe n'oge ya. Ịdị ga-agbanwe. Igbo bụ Igbo birikwenio. Ụtụtụ ọma, ehihie ọma, mgbede ọma, depending your time zone. Anyị ya dịka echi. Maka na echi adịghị agwụ ka anyị na-agwa gị, ọ bụrụ na isonyere. What are you waiting for? Click the like button, subscribe, comment, share. If anyị na-ekwu na nke ikpeazụ oyi elu oyi. If you are just coming across our channel for the very first time, you are welcome. This is Kellena TV. We are live and we are direct, bringing you the gospel of redemption by your doorstep. If I make common sense, the reason I'm running Marife. And if I carry Marife, crying gas school. I know if you in a chef. I'm like if I in a chef, guys, you will not do. I just want to make common sense as always. Obosimaro no mma. Anyị nwere ose ọjị. Ose ọjị adịghị eji iji ifere. Anyị na-ekwu na anyị jebe na anyị ya ejeru. Anyị naba anyị ya narụ. Chukwu abịa ma ndị eri atụ egwu okpocha osimiri. Oke mmụọ nke na-eri oke aja. Kellena TV na-ekwu na ihe na-ekwu na this my channel. Adị m ekwu ya ka mmegide okere, ka adị m ekwu ya ka mmegide ọkara afọ. Adị m ekwu ya maka na okereke ọkara afọ nyere m ego. Ihe nji ekwu ya bụ I am saying that I know to be truth nke dị na social media. Ana m ekwu na echiche ajọ mmadụ ọma ndị ire. Ndị niile na-achụ Kellena TV fa ya ada. Ndị niile si n'ọmụmụ bụ their problem. Chukwu abịa ma mee I become their problem instanta. Ana m arara ndị niile na-ekwu eziokwu na nwere onwe atinye gị n'aka. Wee na-asị ka i buru ha ụzọ bere ha azụ. Chukwu abịa ma doo mbuko chụọrọ ha ajọ mmụọ, chụọrọ ha ajọ mmadụ. Kellena TV na your more common sense. Ụta mmụọ, ụta mmadụ. Nke a gbara na nderi, nke a gbara n'ụtụtụ, nke a gbara n'ehihie. nke a gbara n'ọwụwa anyanwụ ma ọ bụ na ndịda anyanwụ, nke a gbara n'ụzọ gbara ịtọ ma ọ bụ ịnọ, nke ejiri ihe ọbụla wee mee Chukwu abịa ma laa ike ha n'iyi. Ebe ọbụla fọkwara afa m for evil, may you, O God, answer them. May the land of our ancestors fight all my battles. Maka na ọnwụnwa ka mbụ aka na m asa arụ n'afọ n'afọ. O jere ka m gụrụ n'aha eze Chukwu ga-abịa ma ise ụbọchị mara ọnụ mma. This month, you are going to have experience. You are going to be a witness. You are going to have an encounter, and you will testify that this is the hand of God. Now here's a show. He said, I don't want you to mind the bitter souls. Of course, they are surprised that this bitterness is coming from some that claimed to be a member. This bitterness is coming from them. They can't pass the right judgment. Family, and there being insiders, they have really done more harm than good. They have done more harm than good. Kellena TV is not an IPOB member, but I am a Biafran. I am an Igbo man, but IPOB as member. Now, I am a preacher of the gospel of redemption, and I want to preach with anointing. Don't mind the never-do-wells. The people who Dr. Ngozi Orabueze now steady. Give us your evidence against them, against her. No an agent. We have equally asked them, we asked a message or fallback. See from Maze, but Kellena TV is saying that if Mazeba said anything fallback, he was misinformed. By so doing, that word fallback is from the pit of hell. The reason, Bona, I have known Mazeba to be as a man, follow us carefully, because somebody find your buying. Biafra struggle, I go to the point or stage, but on the ground one day need. Biafra struggle is making move on a Galilee. Biafra struggle have left the gangsters that hijacked it. What their name is business. Some gangsters followed him. Before redeclaration, Mazeba picked a committee preparing them for the task ahead. And the sum of those gangsters, he did not pick them. Maybe he wanted to dump them after the redeclaration. Then Ejidia, the same gangsters that he wanted to do away with, or the same gangsters that he did not pick na the committee, he offered post-redeclaration, they are the gangsters that created the problem you see happening today. And they confused IPOB members, people that is unstable. All these people have run everywhere on social media. Kellena TV, I know take them serious. Even from day one, when I listen to them, I know they are not making sense to me. People who know naked go on me, naked name calling. You can't do, they can't do without calling you names. That is who they are. Check ya nwoke ha, check ya nwaanyị ha. Site na from nwaanyị isi paint, were gbada to nwoke ya. They are bitter souls. That is that. Dr. Ngozi Orabueze abịa na-arụ ọrụ. Remember, no oke nọ n'ụlọ gwara nke nọ na mmanya bịa na azụ dị na ngịga. Aga redeclaration. According to Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, some people told her that Maazị Ekpa want the redeclaration to be cancelled. She refused and said that Maazị Ekpa Chino cannot cancel this very redeclaration. Remember, Maazị Ekpa had go ready for this redeclaration. That was why he appointed committee post-redeclaration. That was why he told you in one of his broadcasts that Odechi has been activated. That was why he said that any Oji asked him, if I am, follow us carefully, I am grow history. If I am, the president, you also know a fortune. If I am, international community, you also know a fortune. So within him, he don't get prepared. He is prepared already. So Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, knowing Maazị Ekpa as a man, this straightforward, Ozugbo another fall back, Ozugbo another cancel. No matter that word, that voice is from the pit of hell. She declined. Then what happened? Okanilu. They declared Biafra. Kaira side the surrogate and the protecting mandate. But the main truth of the matter, they wanted to cancel Yamaju. She declared. They were angry. What are they going to tell number 3 men in America? Now, this number 3 man, I can know his voice. I can follow video about number 3 man no bankata. They are the same people that went and they told you that Dr. Ngozi Orabueze cancelled fundraising, whereas she postponed. They are the same people championing fallback. They are the same people that took USB-led government to court. They are supporters, but the people telling you that USB declared the terrorists. They are the people now put on the line on social media. But the video in the video meeting Dr. Ngozi Orabueze with the lobbyist after the declaration. And remember, enwere ihe mere Maazị Ekpa ji wee gacha first convention na Finland, gabazie second one that will give birth or that gave birth to USB redeclared. Onwere some people nyere advice. That advice may be redeclare and seek recognition. Because, or maybe in India or they difficult to seek recognition from Brigi, which is exile, which is Biafra Republic government in exile. The people that advised him, now you had it difficult to be seeking recognition with Brigi. Ngwari declare, ihe plan ihe abụ ka apụta na international stage as a nation, gbabazie international politics. This, to me, this was his plan. So these people telling you to fall back, ihe Maazị Ekpa gabigira before or under any advice before Gaba declaration. As he stands today, Biafra struggle was for illiterates. No. I said on my previous broadcast, na Biafra struggle. Now with this declaration, no running by the best brains, and they bring them in. And they promote guy. How many things we put? Now those best brain, I got the alpha together. I never a declaration document, never referendum. Was if no recognition canacho. Internationally with lawyers and lobby firm. Then in the general protection and our role. And all protection and what it can be fair informed those people, none but buying as governors, inform them. Some people are martyred. He said Biafra cannot come without. It is good you inform them. Obviously, it is serious. What that will happen ahead of time. The reason why Biafra struggle na abozi ife dị na-eme na-ekpuchi somehow. Mana ọ gwara side dị eme mkpuchi. Biafra struggle now bụ abatago as a nation. You must go up there to play international politics. And if you are not a politician, don't cross. If you are not educated, don't cross. If you no go school, don't cross. We need people, best brain in the grad school. You gotta go. Man, what do you have? The gangsters want to hijack everything. Maazị Ekpa, according to Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, that Maazị Ekpa approved 15 million Obrego that she herself paid into an account Ogechukwu Nkere provided. And the money was meant for Ijiawe display Biafra police uniform, La Biafra declaration in Finland. The question now is, before you ban the mother fall back, why did Maazị Ekpa? Why would you showing with police? Police or may operate in exile? The answer is no. Biafra government in exile, any the police. They don't need to add police to it. So the reason why whether Maazị Ekpa and police also into a nation to go and play international politics, go on recognition on it. And by so doing, he want to have every department government in a way, just to make sure they are made the international standard for international politics. But those, or okay, that is that for side Maazị Ekpa. Then another question should be, did you saw or did you see the police uniform presented in Finland? The answer is no. The question now is, what happened? We did not get any answer. Why Why did they not display it? They could not answer. They are the same people who never wanted the declaration to happen. They were the same people that was angry. What are they going to tell the number three man in America? They were the same people that told you that Dr. Ngozi is a cancel fundraising. They are the same people that told you now to fall back. They never wanted you to come to become a nation. We are in a nation where accountability is the most important thing. Fact, okay, man, operating in exile, where accountability is not found. Among me got on this side. Only him we were traumatized by the creative police. But you were made approve. And that's an very accomplished. Because they don't want you to become a nation. I'm going to play something to you. Pay very close attention. Okay, got that? No, these same people, when they were lawyers or lobbyists, and there is something some of you must understand. Now, somebody a lobbyist does not mean that he can just walk into Donald Trump office and introduce himself as lobbyist Biafra. It can't work. It does not work that way. And even the lobbyist, like this video I will play to you, the lobbyist admitted. The lobbyist admitted. Now need somebody. Now need fish somebody somewhere. Now need seek somebody that will be presenting Biafra matter for them. The lobbyist need somebody, maybe somebody the closer, maybe a politician in America, through which has in a push Biafra cause. They cannot do it all alone. Biafra matter now, but international politics cover. Hear this. Biafra struggle now, if possible. Amam gije si jago there. Mana ige here digest here. If possible, oruora anyị ma ọ bụla anyị ji ego. Anyị achọ ndị anyị like ọ ndị anyị feel ji ekwutere anyị ọnụ anyị na America. Ọ bụrụ na fa nọ n'ọchịchị, anyị achọ wee make sure na anyị ji ma ego ma campaign, vote them into office in America. La local politics, America. By so doing, they can push this our recognition from grassroots. They push away from grassroots, from local American politics to, okay, from lobbyists that will be furnishing the local politicians all the document or evidence they need, from lobbyists to local politicians in America. Then from local politicians in America to politicians. Politicians push this agenda. Campaign, we will campaign for. Campaign. In America, man, to penetration from local politics. Can't explain. Come and listen. Pay very close attention. Have meeting Dr. Ngozi with lobbyists after the declaration in Finland. These people are buying pictures everywhere on social media. How about a 1 minute clip of meeting with these same people? But Dr. Ngozi are buying meeting plans with this same lobbyist. Yet, how can I be Orabueze? But only has no is yet to show them 1 minute clip of his meeting. The only thing I negotiate is a picture now by an uncle. At times, some of you only got in here the very difficult. Let's listen to this. Before we move, let me read. This is what Dr. Ngozi Orabueze wrote. And I have said, if you are not following her yet, make sure you start following her S account. Ngozi Orabueze, Deputy Prime Minister. So let me read it. She wrote, breaking. Meeting with Aman Dabiri alias and the United States of Biafra Chief of Staff, Dr. Orabueze, listening to the two recordings on how Aman Dabiri plans for USB recognition. After our declaration in Finland, yet suing USB, conflict of interest, ethical suit, Aman Dabiri and alias, used by Isaiah Anyogo, aka Ogechukwu Ogenkere, and the Fellback Brigade cabinet members and the Nigeria government to sue the United States of Biafra to stop Biafra restoration and the full independence of Biafra, was actually an advisor to the United States of Biafra COS on how to recognize USB. The court case is loading. Biafrans, who are the Fellback group working for? In our question, who are they working for? They were the same people that told you that Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, sorry, they were the same people that told you Mazepa never wanted the declaration to happen. Remember the question there, who are they working for? The how about the declaration? You will not come to that, but Dr. Ngozi Orabueze hijacked it. Who are they working for? They were angry that Biafra was declared. Who are they working for? Everything they have been telling you, like this social media, including speaking with Mazepa on the phone for 30 minutes, which Mazepa's ex-wife said it is a lie. Then this message they got, where did they get the message? The question is, who are they working for? They are the same people now that sue USB government, including cabinet members. Remember, the question there is, who are they working for? Let's continue to read. Tell them to tell Tinubu and Christopher Musa to release more funds for USB. Some attorney's license is at stake. Onye mara onye kaya bụ onye nwụrụ anwụ. Ọ na-akọwa na license some ndị evuru na-egiri ihe a na ha bụ lawyer. Na their license is at stake. On na their license is at stake. Junior obezi open their license they are stake. The junior these people USB declared to court. Who are they working for? They were the same people who don't want you to become a nation. How? They are the same people that refuse to present Efendu Woji nke Biafra na Finland. By refusing to display that Efendu Woji, that shows that ha chọrọ ka eburu a nation. Ha agwabeghị reason weta na ha display the efe. Ha debunk bụ na Dr. Ngozi Orabueze na-atụ asị na onyere ofe ego, ọsị na onyere ofe ego. Fego sibeghị that uniform up to date. They don't want you to become a nation. They want you to continue to dwell in a place where accountability is not found. And they are the same people that have ended up taking you backwards. Who are they working for? That is the question. That this court for Hagare. Some of you are now, oh, she must go answer question. She is telling you now, some people's licenses are at stake. It does not concern you. As an Oluku from Africa, but at the end of the day, she ahụ na-achịzụ ehi na-enweghị ọdụ ijiji nwere ike chụọrọ ijiji. Ọ bụrụzikwe ndị a na-egiri ife abụ ndị je end up ịba ime. Let us now listen to the video where they had plans on how to move the Biafra declaration. After the declaration, after they must have come as a country. You will hear them at the meeting that they don't want to only operate on or in brigging. They want to operate. That is ka Haruboru, ka Biafra, but as a nation, not just as a nation, as a well-recognized nation by UN. Hancha with this plan with Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Man, onye nke aba ebere plan Hancha one. The only thing I never get fall back and they go into court. Let us go. Pay very close attention.
Next steps.
Next steps. This very meeting of next step, after the declaration, came with a meeting here with this lobbyist that took USB-led government to court today. Next steps after the declaration. Next step, how to go about Biafra recognition. The same people when they prayer calls today. Why? Because they were they na akro hegu. They were they na engineer. Hariba na famanda. They have had these plans of next steps, next phase after the declaration, next steps with USB until the gangsters convince or confuse them to fall back, maintain the brig. They got to go down and they take USB to court. To go to court and they stop USB redeclared. They were the same people that failed to provide USB Nduwoji effect. Up to date, they are yet to debunk Nenyrefego. Up to date, they have not told you anything by any that uniform because they don't want you to become a nation. Now they are now going to court to go and stop you from being a nation. Who are they working for? Next steps. I'm going to take it back so that you will hear that again.
Next steps, which of course I would then augment on the political level. But legally, what would be the next steps now that we're putting in place all these things that I mentioned to you?
Once, I think it would be interesting to have the results of the referendum, but essentially in any emerging government, what needs to take place, and this requires some work, is the transition of an overall document like
the transition of overall document. They need that referendum document and the transition of overall document. That document transition na full USB after the declaration. Transition of overall document with that referendum result. Transition of overall document. Continue to listen. This meeting hammer after the declaration. Pay attention.
Helsinki Declaration or the new Constitution of the United States of Biafra into practical working.
Constitution of United States of Biafra into practical working transition of overall document and with referendum document results. United States of Biafra Constitution Jana Ruoro. Here have a meeting happening after the declaration. They want to transit all documents to USB with referendum results. And they want Biafra Constitution. because now Batago as a nation. By so doing, just pay attention. In our meeting, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. No wonder Mazebaji were saying that these wicked and evil souls now don't want to fight against people that is doing better than them. Like this very struggle. They are not fighting that people that is not doing anything. Listen, I'm going to take it back. But pay very close attention.
Next steps, which of course I would then augment on the political level. But legally, what would be the next steps now that we're putting in place all these things that I mentioned to you?
Once, I think it would be interesting to have the results of the referendum, but essentially in any emerging government, what needs to take place, and this requires some work, is the transition of an overall document like the Helsinki Declaration or the new Constitution of the United States of Biafra into practical working rules for the Biafran government. And this essentially would be a division departmentally in the government of the roles of the ministers, of
roles of the ministers, constitution, and the roles of the ministers. Constitution or la role now, Biafra Republic government in exile. Biafra on police on a role na Biafra Republic government in exile. You need to declare, you need to become a nation, and you need to be functioning as a nation before you go for recognition. And you cannot just get recognized without playing the international politics. And this meeting was held between Dr. Ngozi Orabueze after Biafra declaration with this same lobbyist that took USB declared to court today. Who are they working for? Working for the gangsters. Who are the gangsters working for? Oh, Orabueze Fulani, is an agent. This woman had this meeting. Show us the meeting your APM have had. Put on a video. The only thing in a Kellena TV. Fall back. Begin to defend lies. Defending something that I cannot defend. Have been forbid you people. Continue to listen.
The due process and procedures that need to be in place. But a lot will depend on, essentially, Elias, on the political lead of the amount of recognition we get here for Biafra in the United States and the steps that would need to be taken. What I would imagine is, and this would be a joint lobbying and legal effort on behalf of Biafra, is what's interesting is not only are we in a little bit of a holding pattern for Biafra, we're a little bit of a holding pattern here in the United States because there's a transition coming within our government that will take place on January 20th. And we would need to...
The government, we have government of Donald Trump. Ha need the madu la government of Donald Trump. Ha need the local politicians. They push Biafra agenda. They push to Donald Trump. Them alone as lobbyists cannot do it. They cannot. Each they know how lobbyist. If you know that how about a lobbyist, you will made yourself introduce as lobbyist, as lawyer. Revenue office. How can need some insiders that they can be furnishing with all documents they need. Make it like that. Every document in run office. How one may not be able to do it. We need to somebody. Pay very close attention.
To find out the people, key people in positions that would be of interest for us within the State Department.
Two people, key people that would be of the same interest. Genuine interest la Biafra. Key people, genuine interest la Biafra. They see through that person, they penetrate. Key people, how about lobbyists you? But how can the key politicians play a role to make sure that their matter now they work here? Negative. Matter Biafra, sorry. Yes.
Right. And who the Biafra Nigeria desk person would be. I mean, what I imagine is at some point it would be very interesting if the new Trump administration would allow the appointment of someone in charge of Biafran issues, essentially.
If Trump government, my Trump government may somebody with interest, Biafra appoint. And that is where the international politics come in. Obruziene ego, KJG, what are the person? Mary a campaign, make actually on your win seat na government Trump. Konya we kid push Biafra cause with this lobbyist and the USB with Biafra nation. No, if you go where international politics come in, not take picture by regular local, I can need the grassroots politics. Only they win the seat na government Trump. Then what you can explain, my got there. Only they no na government Trump. From there, my point. Only they no they Biafra interest at heart. No, they put you direct to Trump office. Lord, and that is where the international politics come in. Negative.
A Biafra desk within the State Department and those issues.
Within the State Department. With somebody who the same interest like Biafra. Then I recall with Trump, la State Department. Then the lobbyist, the person with every information and document they need. Konya and they present here at the table of maybe the congressmen and women and even to the Trump himself. A full ordinary lobbyist. So how can he an insider? An insider. That is where the international politics come in. Biafra struggle has gone beyond. Oh, bring money. Oh, your contribution. Oh, you must recognition. Agency going a grassroots. Why almost all departmental heads from Mazen Nandekano to Mazeba? Why everything you in America? Because if we can push America recognize it, we are good to go. Yeah, if you watch Mazen Nandekano, Ndeli na record, Ndeli Roman and DC. Kangaris in DC, almost in any no jewel. Oh, few people be here in America. You got to go. Manama do na get Mazepa now. Almost in a politician. During the time of Mazen Nandekano, he's maybe second in command in Germany, or they were again in Germany. They got scattered all over the world. Manama as a politician. Or I don't think along with any of his strong cabinet member, no Finland. He moved it to US because Omala, as a politician, namely the Hanamota single recognition. No, daddy go. Yako you bring in Puji America. Yet, why are now Bambo? This is the meeting they had. Show us the meeting of your APM with these same people. Well detailed. Negative.
Oh, that would be very significant. Like especially.
Wait, let me take it back. You got need somebody. You got to go. Just listen. I want to buy energy.
At some point, it would be very interesting if the new Trump administration would allow the appointment of someone in charge of Biafran issues, essentially a Biafra desk within the State Department and those issues.
Oh, that would be very significant. Like a special envoy, maybe. And maybe
somebody who would actually guide the State Department's policy regarding Biafra.
Somebody that will guide, not even them. Oh, lobbyists, not even them. Somebody that will guide the State Department. Somebody, a politician, point. We now have to come to international stage and play politics. Make a sure that that person name their point. Lobbyist na hey wule can need mmadụ. But what do you have? Ụmụ oluku nọ ọnwa na social media ha na-agbawasị ọnụ na-akpọrịrị nwaanyị mana their generation nwere ike wipe out mana ha ma nwụta somebody of the same class with that woman and her likes. Ha na ya na-arụkọ ọrụ. Nwaanyị anyị uzuo ya ọfụma o nwere ọfịs na mba ụwa nwaanyị aja aba. She is educated. Anyị uzuo ya ọfụma o nwere ọfịs na mba ụwa nwaanyị aja aba. But what do you have? You have mediocre calling a well-read woman, calling her names on social media. So Dr. Ngozi Orabueze came by herself. Idiot that has nothing to offer. Day in, day out. She came by herself. How about that? Was why I told you that you have to now go to source for your best brain. Dr. Ngozi Orabueze butu nwe ebia join the okwu nwere onwe a, knowing fully well that some of you are unreasonable. What about some people that is well read that is yet to join? This is meeting with lobby firm. Man, what do you have? You have people who has nothing to offer. Now, what do you man offer? Continue to listen.
And what helps in these types of situations, Elias can, I think, support my point of view, is to have an organized, dedicated group of people with
organized and dedicated group of people.
A specific mission in mind. Now, the State Department, I think on January 20th, because Dr. Orabueze, I don't know how much you've been following the internal machinations of a new administration, but I think it will take at least.
On Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, na man to see follow internal politics in America. Negent.
A few weeks, if not more, to find out where the State Department is going as far as mission, the changeovers.
The changeover on Nigeria, Neama more or the familiar or they follow internal politics, matter changes na Ghana State Department politics. Boy, yeah. Na cause on. Let me take it back. You must follow up. If need be, I support on America, a politician. Push go here about and represent our interests. Or a politician in America. Or you protect the interest of American people. Man, or you protect our interests there. Cordry lobby from easy, then I work with them. Listen.
Administration. But I think it will take at least a few weeks, if not more.
Listen.
To find out where the State Department is going as far as mission, the changeovers. We still need to have the Senate confirm a Secretary of State, and then deputies and assistant secretaries of states. And I think at that point, it would be not only an effort as far as the lobbying by Elias to reach out to the legal counsel in the State Department to see if we could get somebody, a designation of somebody who would overlook Biafra issues within the State Department. I think that would be a great victory to have somebody.
Actually, what somebody? Boy, here in all social media, is a preacher by. Usually, what somebody we know, like Orabueze Fulani, and on our plan to see what somebody they put you the struggle. And I been on our just continue to listen.
Looking at this issue and guiding the State Department and a point of contact, which would also lead to legal contacts, because if we have the general counsel, generally the State Department and the Secretary of State relies heavily on the State Department's general counsel on legal issues, international issues, because on issues relating to bilateral conventions, bilateral treaties, multilateral treaties, and how the State Department approaches emerging country will be largely dependent on the legal counsel in the State Department telling the Secretary of State or the deputy.
Sorry. Onye ọbụla efuru na-agbagala Biafra adịghị possible. Onye ahụ amaghị ihe ọ na-ekwu. Ndị a bụ ndị ori chọrọ ịdị na-erisi ego. Inweta Biafra dị possible. Mana anyị nwaji onwe anyị. How? Agakata n'iru agaba azụ. Ihe a plan with the same lobby firm agrapụọ now turn on their head against Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. You see how we create problem. You see how we are. The Dr. Ngozi Orabueze having meeting with this same lobbyist court today because the gangsters confused them against these same plans. Now the gangsters confused them against this plan. Faces this is whom we are. We are our own problem. Yaka Kellena TV je where somebody buy yon naru, noro naru, mafwe. Based on no dia kocha. I was led to pray for him. Me besi ari Abraham bre. Amen. Omen ndo de mma. No be men ndo ya de mma. Ha bukwa freedom fighter. Ihe ha chọrọ bụ ka ọgụ na mgba na-ada mgbe niile. Ha ekpekwara the person ekpere. Mana mụ nwa ndị kpeziri ekpere as I was led. Abụrụzi ajọ mmadụ. Ha nwa ndị kpọziri men on ground, criminals and kidnappers that they have evidence. Ha nwa abụrụzi sent. This is how they are. Now, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze that have held plans of the way forward, next step after the restoration. She is now Orabueze Fulani. She is now Ajo Mado. But those that never wanted the Biafra to be declared, the evidence is because they did not display police uniform, or those that never wanted USB or Biafra to become a nation by not displaying Biafra police uniform. Now Biafra declaration in Finland, they are now the good people. They have now turned the head, the mind, the brain, the heart of this lobbyist that held this meeting with Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. They have now succeeded in turning these same people against Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. You see how we are? We are our own problem. So now we must bring people that went to school. In the Diego, in the grass school. We must bring them in. Rapon and Zamelians and the Sampelians. With them, 100 years, it is not going to come. The only thing that is important to them, into a hotel, to a gala, into a convoy, like that local over the phonomia. Oh, yeah, but the only thing, Hammer. Continue to listen.
Deputy Secretary of State, yes, go ahead. This is feasible. We can do this under U.S. law and international law. So I think we have a general idea, but the problem is
they have general idea, but the problem is, let's hear it.
We are getting a new government over
that
here.
They are getting a new government in America. And remember, in that new government, normally they may appoint somebody. Open Trump government, they may appoint somebody. They may push you for Biafra, la state house. You got to go. Obviously, me one appoint. Then how much lobbyist? They now work with the person. the person will push Biafra agenda from as an insider, as a politician. No, yeah, this legend.
Here in the United States to see who is going to be in the State Department.
Who is going to be in State Department? You got to go now. Nahatroka, Obla Hamutan somebody in the State Department when interest Biafra at heart. No, yeah, very easy. You got to go now. So, na new government Trump bata ka amana kene onye ja na State Department mo somebody when Biafra interest at heart. Easy work with the person as an insider. Yeah, plan. Today, they have succeeded in confusing them. They are now seeing Dr. Ngozi Orabueze as a troublemaker, as Nigeria agent, whereas they that never wanted the declaration to happen, they are now sense.
Also, I mean, it's not just the State Department. This sort of bifurcates into other departments, such as Treasury and the Office of
lawyers.
Or an Assets Control Department of Commerce, which also
because he had evidence. Dr. Ngozi Orabueze attend the court. He have evidence. Rabukwada Gangaru letter had how Mazepa said you should stop using the properties of Greek. He have manipulation. They wanted to scare her. Court was in here. So Dr. Ngozi Orabueze she will present this as an evidence to them. Listen.
Has its own security arm, which has become more and more active. And the Department of Commerce essentially traditionally has been in place to deal with the interests of U.S. business international.
U.S. business international. One politics is business. Orole mgbe anyị assemble last mind. Gbafa ihe dị na buy. And if I buy their benefit, on another money, come buy international politics with if I didn't buy every day, land and the buy and weta, Katie. On what he had an buy JG international Jeba politics. On one na competely, why na plan or Brad. Make sure you share this program. Make sure you watch it. Go on at this stage.
And promoting U.S. business. But that can go very well in hand once there is an emerging government to show the Department of Commerce, look, there's a lot of business and U.S. business interests that could be very, very beneficial mutually for both Biafra and the United States. So
land buying the America business had a moon together. All here international politics. A bahy had an alabono, bahy human, baha location. How am I to have a sijabaka? A hono nobo edena nonsense. Biafra cannot come to social media. You got to go now.
It would be a multifaceted approach, I think, legally and as well as the lobbying effort. And Elias, I don't want to just over promote him, but he has somebody who is extremely knowledgeable in how to approach both within the Moran group and Congressman Moran. But Elias, in reaching out to
you don't want to over promote him. You gotta go. I was on our role and yana fian. About you didn't acquire young pine wine in the bed. Omer a mad. Although we hear him wage any dim mad meeting or the meeting at Afiana. I'm a me. But listen.
Governments here in the United States in legal matters. I don't do any lobbying at all, and that helps me separate. I'm not registered ever as a foreign lobbyist for a foreign government, but my specialty is in dealing with very difficult and complex international legal issues, which interestingly apply to the Biafran government in exile. And I am pleased and honored to be able to help your government. And my goal is a long-term relationship with an actual government that's not just in exile.
With an actual government that is not just in exile. So Biafra government in exile is not enough. They want a long-time goal. Not just with Biafra government in exile, but Biafra and they recognize as a nation. Listen.
But one that's recognized by many, many countries, and let's cross.
Not just in exile. Those that fall back, not just in exile. Biafra government in exile is not enough. Huh? Now I know the reason why Mazeba went back to Finland for Biafra declaration, because that declare a 10-year speed of recognition, no, because Biafra government in exile is not enough. It cannot spearhead any recognition. Biafra government in exile. In fact, with Biafra government in exile, nobody is going to recognize you. That is what this man meant here. With Biafra government in exile, no recognition whatsoever. Because they don't want just a government in exile, but a recognized nation by UN. Let me take it back. Okay, no.
Which interestingly applied to the Biafran government in exile. And I am pleased and honored to be able to help your government. And my goal is a long-term relationship with an actual government that's not just in exile, but one that's recognized by many, many countries. And let's cross our fingers, UN recognition and a member of the United Nations. So that would be
UN recognition and member of United Nations. Government in exile. If on a nation that will be recognized by UN. Or yeah, recognition. I have said things before. Yeah, when you what the declaration. The reason why you have the declaration, but Biafra government in exile is not enough. It's not enough to push for the recognition or to the level Yama. Biafra government in exile cannot do it. So he needs to go and redeclare. He needs to go and redeclare and seek recognition with the USB redeclared. And the back in the brain and that was why he brought in he chose committee post declaration. He wanted to dump the gangsters because they don't have to be afraid. All of them must not make it to the end. Where their history ends, that is where another person's history begins. That is the simple truth. That is how it should be. The likes of the white painted hair woman, Biafra, it is not. So it is now high time he dumped them and they move with people that is ready to play this politics, international politics. Politics where business. They have here country no stand again on my country. Everybody, about recognition. Back in you got to go. So Lila Hale and you protect you got to go where you want to buy all politics. Away on the social media,
I grew up. My parents are I'm a child of the 70s, and I remember my parents talking about the brief existence of the Biafran government and the issues. So it's interesting to make a connection between my childhood stories about Biafra, and my parents were always very politically active, talking about Patrice Lumumba and African causes, and Biafra was one of those. So now here I am as legal counsel to the Biafran government in exile. It's a pleasure and it's an honor, and I leave it to you.
And also to note an interesting personal connection that Arman and I have. We come from very similar cultures. Arman is of Armenian background, and I'm of Greek background.
This Arman, that man, the man which you are there. Well, let's continue to listen, because his discussion here, the well-detailed and the rooted. Listen.
And we both come from people that have experienced genocide and ethnic cleansing. Yeah. And that's something that the Biafrans have experienced. And I told Arman, you know, this was very, we found it very humorous that some of the Biafrans were confused and thought Diburi might have been a Nigerian name. And you remember I put out a tweet that Arman is not a Nigerian, that he's an Armenian American. Yeah. But apparently there are some Nigerians who have the last name Diburi, which is interesting.
Yeah. But that is very interesting.
It is. Anyway, thank you so very much, Diburi. It's really an honor to meet you, and thanks to Elias, who I call my brother, and a very good son of Biafra land. I don't even know how to. I mean, Biafrans are.
But let's continue.
Out 247, trying to protect, trying to attack whoever says anything negative to Elias. They're ready to jump in. That's how, like.
Wait for Dr. Ngozi Elias, and they are ready to attack anybody, la media, or alone. Just listen to the word of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, even in the secret meeting. A junior more sound like this, the secret meeting, more badge of mud, more agent. Hey, the thank God now why I still standing strong. Or some of you like your Biafran think you will do your job.
Like how passionate he is to Biafrans. And again, our Prime Minister, His Excellency Simon Ekpa, is somebody that millions of Biafrans love, and they obey him. Whatever he says is they see it as their savior. Not just.
This is her introducing Mazi Ekpa as Biafran see Mazi Ekpa. If one obi adiocha, imakwinye bụ mmadụ epụta na-eme mmadụ introduce onye aha na ebe a Mazi Ekpa nọ dị ọ na-akọwa banyere Mazi Ekpa like this to the lobbyist. Obi adiocha.
Because is Simon Ekpa, but because the cause they believe in, which is the independence and restoration of Biafra, has gone just beyond an individual.
Exactly.
So while our leader Nnamdi Kanu was there, and Nigerian government abducted him from Kenya, and he's right now in Nigerian DSS dungeon for the past almost 4 years, going to 5. Our Nnamdi Kanu, whom our PM Simon Ekpa, whom Nnamdi Kanu told Biafrans, go and listen to Simon Ekpa. That is actually whom the whole Biafrans and the world is following, actually. And our Prime Minister has brought a lot of changes in the face of.
This is her admitting here that the Prime Minister, Mazi Ekpa Njoku, have brought a lot of changes like this very struggle. She is pouring her heart. Mazi Ekpa no padia. She is here defending Mazi Ekpa, defending our cause. Yet publicly and now what have you on social media by your Mazi ordinarily Okahamaka, their generation. Okahamaka, every living thing. Na benni halan ham.
The struggle, changes that were never really known before.
Changes we have never really known before. Mazepa have brought it. It was revealed to me that he has something to offer. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu said, go and listen to Simon Ekpa. He is bringing new dimension to this very awareness that we are making. Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is confirming it, the changes Mazepa have brought, which they have not seen before.
Of awareness, a lot of information to the world, thanks to Elias and his group that have also helped him to let the world know this true situation of things, unlike before. So again, as Elias has said, my name is Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. I'm the Chief of Staff to the Biafra, United States of Biafra, before Biafra Republic government.
Introduce before oh, but you said the Briggy is cancelled. Because you said you are not Briggy. Don't use anything Briggy. Even in the secret meeting, she recognized, she said before Briggy, now United States of Biafra. On the grad school. They got the school, they were nurse or doctor. I took it back.
United States of Biafra, before Biafra Republic government in exile and de facto, we are brought at home and we are brought right now, after our declaration of our independence in Finland, we now are United States of Biafra. So I'm really glad to meet you. I know that PM told me about you a long time ago, and he told me specific task that you'll be doing. And
they are angry because they have no place in USB declared. They don't have what it takes. Mazepa don't need them. That is why they are angry. With what you just listened to, obviously any idiot to Dr. Ngozi Orabueze by an agent, you are can't machine. No agent speak this way.
And I know I asked because I know there's another attorney Levy who was doing something. I mean, not in African level, because he I think in the OR he tried to in the committee of African nations, the COS, that group. I'm gonna get the name. Those ones.
The African Union. He did something with the African Union.
Yeah,
the organization of or the Organization of Emerging African
States. Of Emerging African State. Yeah. So I think.
Yes, that is that. Then let us now move. Let us now move to Dr. Ngozi Orabueze's speech. The lobbyist talked about getting involved more reformer by the local politics in America. So let me now show you how she is getting involved in the American local politics just because of Biafra. Let's go to her handle. That was why I asked you to make sure you are following Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, Deputy Prime Minister's account. Let me start with this. We are now on her page. She is not just a politician. She is not just a politician. Or na-arụ ọrụ aka siri ike, na-arụ ọrụ Biafra, na-etinyekwa anya na politics America, because from there, local politics America, from there, is in a push Biafra cause. So let us now read from her handle. This is her celebrating with the one year. picture did not come up. Okay. This is Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Let me see. This is Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Atagana mwa wasiri ike na emefe. Ndị ya eme ihe pastor. Anụrụ ebe ha nọ na-amanyu na-akọrọ kremense. This is her. She is getting involved. American local politics. Biafra. What do you have? You have mediocre individuals talking rubbish on social media against this quality, elegant, delicious, brilliant, beautiful Igbo Biafran Deputy Prime Minister. Yeah? She is getting involved in American politics. Maka Biafra. If is Gasiandi Nedri. Orabueze. Okay, they explanation of election rules, process, nominations from the floor, candidate remarks, order determined by drawing number, voting by secret ballot. Let me now go and read what she wrote here. Let me read. Now that picture, she wrote, breaking, congratulations, Kendra, for winning the DACOB Republican chair today, June 19th, 2025. Kendra takes over from Mercy, our beautiful ex-chair that moved to the White House on President Trump appointment. Oluku, omononyi wule move na White House. Is a celebrate here. Onwele mmadụ na White House by President Trump appointment. Let me take that again. Kendra takes over from Mercy, our beautiful ex-chair that moved to the White House on President Trump appointment. Thanks also to Dr. Joyce, who acted as the interim chair before today's election. The United States of Biafra, we have a sound political process. Sound political process. She is getting involved in local politics. Now, on your more of my, you got to know the person another na White House by Donald Trump appointment. Let me take that again. Breaking, congratulations, Kendra, for winning the DACOB Republican chair today, June 19th, 2025. Kendra takes over from Mercy, our beautiful ex-chair that moved to the White House on President Trump appointment. Thanks also to Dr. Mercy, who acted as the interim chair before today's election. The United States of Biafra, we have a sound political process. Biafra, legend. Let us now move to another. Here is another one. She is now getting involved. Not that she is just getting involved though. Those that can be able to put one or two together, go and follow her. Listen. I read, breaking, the United States of Biafra thanks George Stern and the people of North Carolina, US, for this wonderful recognition of Biafran people. North Carolina, they will be recognized in the United States of Biafra at the appropriate time. The relationship is not taken lightly. Thanks, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, DPM, COX, United States of Biafra. I think I am going to stop it right here, right here, right here. So if I enjoy what he had to about, I wouldn't have read another put one or two together. You do. I can Norman Roro continue calling her agent. She came at the right time. Your freedom cannot come only on social media. Any international politics, and you cannot play it with Biafra government in exile. You can only play it as a nation. recognized. The only thing he needs is recognition on America. No. So, if need be, on political party, I need to go to make sure I put you somebody at the point in the White House, the White House, they push our agenda or international politics. No business. If you want an bone, it's a lot of monthly contribution or fundraising. KJD regular. Dr. Ngozi Orabueze o mere mgbe o kwuru na ha dee n'akwụkwọ degara ndị nọ na mgbadaba anyị la manage some mmanụ ka ha bido kwụtaba ụgwọ. And I still want to remind her again, or to even remind you, not even her, to remind you, no body her. Ma anyị were ọnọdụ na ofu mmanụ na anyị gọbazie ndị Amerịka na mmanụ a na anyị ejifee ọ dịzi ihe unu nwere weta na nke anyị nwere ka anyị bidogori from somewhere. Ihe a bụ international politics. Ọ bụghị nọ na social media bụ asị na ọ bụ ugboro Fulani terrorist woman na-akọ nonsense ụmụ oluku Chukwu ji agba ọkụ ka eluigwe mezie okwu a nye gị understanding. N'aha Eze Chiobi ka Biafra ise